And making it very pixelated, sort of like an 8-bit image, of course, referenced the digital beyond where I gleaned the images from. So that was kind of one of the sort of the big experience that I wanted the viewer to get when I'm interacting with it.
Yeah, and again, at this juncture, this interstices, I thought of this notion of the carbon-based life form. This is kind of like a quaint notion, but I know that for many years I used to listen to Carl Sagan at Cornell before SETI and before Cosmos and Contact and all that stuff. But the idea of being a sort of chauvinistic view of life forms, he said, well, we can't get along with our neighbors, or we're like racist. How are we going to accept another non-carbon-based life form species? I guess we would be. But the notion, and I guess one of the more popular ones is like a silicon-based life form, which obviously in digital terminology, maybe we have met silicon.
Right.
Maybe we've met alternative life forms.
I think
it's
pretty like this. Yeah, exactly.
We can open up to questions.
Yeah, I think.
Does anybody have any questions for Norman or Janusz? No, I can start. I'm glad you ended with the skeleton, because just both travel and other interest reasons, I've been looking at a lot of tombs and crypts lately.
Okay.
And it just today when we were sitting here, I was like, is there any kind of reference to that with the skeleton behind this kind of monumental thing that's referencing the stars and
Right.
almost an alien civilization, which kind of look at this, they might consider it some sort of a sky charting mechanism and tomb at the same time. Is there any of that thinking involved with it?
It's an interesting notion.
Yeah, I mean, I did. One of the images that I looked at early on in the design was this. It's a famous image from Egyptian tombs of the universe, which is this sort of woman that's frames. If you've seen this before, and that was really that I really grabbed onto that. I like this idea of this figure which kind of contained the universe and sort of framed everything. So this is maybe a little bit of an extension of that notion. It was never morbid for me. It was never like the skeleton was never like it had really nothing to do with death or kind of on the contrary. It was always had to do with more. This is actually, this is life. This is actually who we are. This is where we're going. But any morbid read people take away from it, that's fantastic and fine.
I would say one particular thing that it references for me is that you talked earlier about the sort of this more maybe substantial or more fully formed an avatar is. It depends on how sort of involved you are in the cyberspace or the digital experience.
Yeah, it can be.
And in some ways, maybe a skeleton is like the most fully formed.
Right.
It's the remains of the experience itself.
No, I like that. Yeah. No.
It is just a polygon the least fully formed? Are they polygon wireframe based? When you create in that.
Well, the pixel is the way I imagine it is. It's sort of like the bit, or it's like the atom. It's kind of the smallest sort of visual piece of information that exists in the digital, and so it's kind of like the atom. So the reason why this is all pixelated, and I see these sort of cube shapes as being kind of an abstraction of pixelization, is to show that again that connection between bits and atoms.
I just noticed too that sense of the reversal again, not to go into that area again, but in the area of a pixel versus in an atom, for example, the contrast is the atom exists in a light from world where light bounces and is carried to you, whereas a pixel is normal, at least in the virtual world, is a light from rather than a light off. So it is actually is a reversal in that sense too. It's its own atom. The structure, light being a link between all those things, because light is the carrier in information in that sense. It does become, I think, also another point of contrast between the two
Yeah,
entities,
absolutely.
between the physical entity and the virtual entity, is the build, and it goes to this notion of atoms, that the pixels are actually the what is going to
Light particles.
yeah, rather than atoms relaying from a secondary. So it's a more direct, closer to the source in a way. You know, it's interesting combination.
I was wondering whether you could speak about your relationship to technology, because I noticed you mentioned magic and the fourth dimension, and you spoke a little bit about balanced diet
Yeah.
in terms of technology use. And I was wondering whether it seemed like you have kind of almost a Zen-like relationship with technology, and I'm wondering whether you have a perspective on that. That you share.
If I'm shown a new technology, I want to know a lot about it. I just want to absorb it, but I'm hesitant because, again, to use the food analogy, I think you can get overfed and maybe even poisoned if you overdo it. I think it's and some, let's see if I can think of an example. Well, certainly some social media sites I've gotten into, and I really try to understand them and use them, and then they just don't stick. So I guess my relationship is one of all accepting, and then I wade into the pool and see if it fits, the structures that I'm interested in. And then if not, out it goes, and if so, then oh God, now I have something else to check every morning. So it's like, so I think I'm pretty accepting, but I think you have to, when I heard about this sort of, I think it is, someone maybe can correct me if I'm wrong on the hours, but I think it's 21 a week. When I heard about this, I really took that to heart, the idea of a balance. You don't, everything in moderation, is the old sort of adage about food. And I think it's the same for the digital, because there is an outside world. You don't want to completely forget about that. So. Yeah,
and the actual, the interactions, just the way things are ordered, and I would imagine you would be able to, lose track of one pattern or one process of interrelationships.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Well, let's thank Norman and Janos very much for being here.
Thank you.